On this week's episode of Friend Code, we got a big new Nintendo Direct with lots of new game announcements and lots of shadow drops. Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Friend Code. I'm your host, Michael Damiani. This week I'm joined by Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
Michael Huber.
Hello.
How's it going?
Going well.
Feeling the excitement? You feeling the
Feeling
hype?
the hype. Feeling the dreams, Damiani.
You had several moments during this Direct, Huber. Several moments where you got, I think your most animated though, we'll get to it, but there was one point where you were just like, wow, Huber's losing it right now.
Long time coming for that one.
So fun. I love doing these. I do this every week.
Yeah.
Love these things.
Yeah.
What about you, Bloodworth? Do you generally like Nintendo Directs, Bloodworth? I don't think I've ever gotten your opinion on, because you were around covering stuff before the Direct days when they did when they did live stuff. Not ranking them, but like when their transition from live presentations to Directs. Like generally, you like that?
I mean, I would still like to have the yearly live presentation or whatever, but yeah, the Directs I think have been a good way of doing things, and they managed to still have, I think, just as many fun surprises, and they have a good pace and a good energy to them that I think even people that try to copy Directs somehow don't quite tap into.
It's a good point. No one's quite nailed down the formula that Nintendo has. Still proving they're pretty good at it, but I'm glad to see people trying it out. It takes a while. Nintendo, the good point, I bring this up because the first Nintendo Direct was 8 years ago, 2011. A lot of people are tweeting that out this morning that, hey, 8 years of Nintendo Directs. Can you believe it's been that long?
No, I cannot.
So it took Nintendo that long to perfect all this. You know, people who are new to it, like State of Play, they're definitely get better and stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we get another State of Play.
Yeah, can we get another one of those,
State of Play, please? Where are they?
Yo,
where are they at?
Ellie's knocking on the door. Let's go
let's
here.
do this. But we had a Nintendo Direct today.
Yeah, we did.
And started out with we got the obvious one out of the way. Overwatch Legendary Edition coming to Switch on October 15th. This had been leaked.
Yeah.
What do you think about this coming to Switch?
Perfect fit.
Yeah?
Perfect fit. Good timing. It's a positive. I can't think of any negatives about this. This is just good vibes. Bringing it to another system. Nothing to really say other than, Diablo 3 on Switch was really cool. And now here comes Overwatch.
Yeah.
So just feel good announcement for a lot of people that want Overwatch on the go.
I think that's probably a good call bringing it back to Diablo, because I think that was something that they could do that was less tech intensive, and they saw the return on that and like, okay, yeah, there is an audience here that's willing to dive into our games. Let's now do the extra work that it's going to take to get Overwatch running on this, and then probably seeing the success of Fortnite as well.
Definitely. I think, this made sense. It'd been rumored for a while. Like every other month people are saying, Overwatch coming to Switch.
Totally. Bloodworth, I'm glad you're here. You like motion controls.
Yeah.
I'm a little weirded out by the motion controls in Overwatch. Like, it just seems so unnecessary, I guess, from my perspective, because I don't use them. But, like, is there a huge group out there that's going to, like, use these motion controls in Overwatch?
If you play Splatoon, like, I think that's where you see, like, the difference. Because because here's the thing. I mean, I haven't played it, obviously, so I don't know how Overwatch is handling it. But it's like you're fine-tuning, right? So it's like you've got your analog sticks for your bigger motion.
Yeah.
But then rather than having to have, like some aim assist or whatever, you just get that little extra tilt to get that headshot in just the right place, and then there you go.
Okay, so it's using the motion with the combination of the joysticks.
Should be a combination, yeah.
Perfect way to put it. Wrap this up on Overwatch. Do you think this also kind of foreshadows maybe other Blizzard stuff coming to Switch? Obvious candidate, Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Like seeing something as intensive as Overwatch coming, I think it now means almost anything in Blizzard's catalog is pretty much fair game.
Definitely. I wonder if moving forward, though, like Diablo 4 or something, if that happens or whenever that happens, if it'll launch.
They haven't done Hearthstone, have they?
Nope.
That's interesting. That could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just I think, Hearthstone would make the most sense. Some of their games, I guess, like the interface, they have to work out some stuff. They bring in more of the legacy stuff. But going forward, good point.
I imagine Diablo 1 and 2, for some reason, being like a little trickier. I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know well enough,
Yeah.
but my money would be on that. Yeah. We're not going in chronological order for the rest of these announcements. I usually do this, but I'm going in order of the Nintendo email because they very nicely, Bloodworth forwarded me this great email. Pretty much put all the stuff that I usually just go through anyway on my own, rewatching the direct, saved us some time. This was one of the huge announcements. This was the 4th fighter in Super Smash Bros. Terry Bogard. Coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in November. For those of you not familiar with Terry Bogard from the SNK fighting franchise, Fatal Fury. So we get that Fatal Fury crossover. Yeah, and again, that fighter pass, it was like you could do the one-time purchase to get all of it, or they're individually sold. And yeah, what did you think about that trailer?
Really
what did you think about
good
that trailer?
The trailer was so good.
Phenomenal.
And it's great because we had gotten the leak that SNK was involved.
Yep.
But the trailer, it was, I don't know. It's almost like they let us know. And I know that's not the way it went down, but it definitely feels almost like, let them know it's SNK, and then the trailer just plays right into it. Because every one of these characters, is it that one? No.
Yeah.
Is it that one? No. Is it Nakaruru?
So
no.
good.
It's just like,
So good.
it's so funny.
And all done in like sprite animations too, just
Yeah.
like paying tribute to the SNK specialty there.
Just shows you it's not just about the crossover. It's about
Yeah.
like the love of it, man. Like every time they bring a character in, it is handled with such love and care. It just feels amazing. You know, Fatal Fury, it's funny. It's I didn't really play it that much, so my vibe of it was growing up, it was like really cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like as a kid, I always
Yeah.
thought it was so cool. Like Terry Bogard, dude, that guy's cool.
Always on the expensive
Yeah.
system and stuff. I think Final Fight and the first Fatal Fury on
Yeah.
Super Nintendo. They did come out to Super Nintendo, I believe. My only exposure to it.
Yeah.
And those were a big deal. I was like, these are really big deal, mature games, man. Had fun playing that. Like, one wasn't any good at them. Had a good time with them.
I remember my friend had the anime movie and we watched it all the time.
Whoa, I didn't even know about it.
Dude, there's this part I will never forget. It's ingrained in my mind. This guy like catches a bullet and flicks it back into this guy's head.
What?
Just flicks
really
it back
cool.
in his head.
It's really cool.
That's anime.
It's so anime.
That's so anime. That wasn't all the Banjo.
That wasn't all.
That wasn't all the Banjo. That wasn't all the Smash cause of Banjo and Kazooie.
Yeah.
Previously announced at E3 to be joining the roster. Shadow dropped that release date today.
Yeah.
I don't think it's out as of recording, but
Tim Geddes better be playing right now.
came out. Yeah, what do you think about that? Like the last few, they'd said like, oh, there would be a video and then the announcement. This was just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you excited about Banjo, Kazooie, and Smash?
Absolutely.
You gonna go try them out? You gonna go try them out?
100%. 100%. Play all these characters. But
Yeah.
when we play here, you know,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't traditionally play a lot of Smash on my own. I played Ultimate alone a little bit, but I want to try them out in the arena with
Yeah.
you guys.
Although we gotta watch out for that spinning stage.
Yeah,
don't have any
Spiral-
Oreo thins before you play the stage.
Yeah.
Spiral Mountain. They did a deep dive afterwards with Sakurai. Showed off all the different move sets for Banjo Kazooie. Showed off the Spiral Mountain. That tease. What did you think about the tease? Talking about Banjo's sister, showing her running around and like showing all the detail. Look, it looks like she's going for an adventure.
Now, I don't know if this is a Final Fantasy VII like port situation where it was like accidentally getting everyone's hopes up.
I don't think it's-
because it did kind of feel like he was saying, "Hey, look at all of this detail we put in the background that
Yeah.
you're not even gonna notice. Like, look at all this stuff down here." So I wonder. I don't know.
Yeah.
The fact that he's like, yeah, it can be in its own adventure game. I don't know if he was like, hey, Rare, get to work, or
Right.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
don't
think that
know.
is
There's so
something
many
where I mean they do a pretty good job translating for him and like making a lot of the jokes land. But I do wonder if there's some nuance of what he was trying to get across
Yeah.
there that we just just missed a little bit of.
Yeah, I think it was more just speaking to how in-depth and much detail they put into that stage. Yeah. That was kind of like the recurring message that we're really working hard on this. And your message earlier about like showing the love and respect basically to these series by embracing them, fully embracing them, paying them their respects, and bring them into this like rich history of Smash Brothers. Even making that point about how this might be the one chance with Ultimate to bring all these different characters together. And I think it more was into that. They even had a part where Sakurai said, this game is available to play on Xbox now. It used to be the whole Rivals talk, very playful. I didn't get to ask you that. I was going to ask, in the Nintendo-Microsoft rivalry, Huber, who's Sasuke, who's Naruto?
Dude, Microsoft is Sasuke.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
All edgy and like cool.
Well, Sega would have been
sure.
Sega would have been Sasuke
Sega
in
would
the
have
back in
been
the day.
Sasuke.
But who would? Yeah. Gotcha. Who's Boruto now? Sorry, Huber. Had to get you with that one. Yeah, there was some more Smash news. We'll get to that in a little bit. They did say the last thing they did announce about it. Sorry, we're gonna get to it right now. More DLC fighters are coming beyond the season, like a season 2 essentially, even though they didn't call that. How do you feel about that?
Well, they didn't put a limit on it. I think that's the thing. The Fighters Pass is like, here are 5 fighters. That's what you're gonna get, 5. And now they're like, and more without like. And I think that's interesting because I feel like a lot of when Nintendo's talked about like expanding their games and keeping content coming, it always feels like there's a deadline, right? Like ARMS is gonna like have this deadline, and all right, we're gonna not make any more DLC after this point. Splatoon 2 just like had their last Splatfest for who knows whatever reason. They just set this arbitrary time. We're like, all right, we're not gonna keep doing this. Why? Because the game is still thriving. The community for the game is still thriving, and they're gonna bring all that content out in different ways. But it's just an interesting thing that, they tend to do this rather than just keep the game going as long as people are still into this stuff. So I think Smash Brothers is hopefully kind of that turning point to where like we're going to keep making fighters as long as we can keep supporting this game and as long as it will keep people excited. Yeah.
Great point. It's called Smash Ultimate for a reason. Yeah. Everybody's here.
Yep. And this is the moment.
I'm glad they took this new philosophy, as you said, Bloodworth, that it's a little bit more open-ended approach. I like that they didn't call it a Season 2. I like that they didn't say, and they might package it when going forward, but as of now, it sounds like Sakurai wants to take his crack at this.
Totally. Yeah, it feels like Season 2. They just didn't call it that. So, I'm not surprised by it. I'm excited by it. And just the way he was saying, like you said earlier about, this may be the biggest, it may never reach this size again, this roster. Like, that to me means he has unfinished business. He's going for broke. He's all in. He's getting everyone he can in this game. Everyone's on the table now. Like, it's always a joke of, like, let's get everyone into Smash. Like, it's happening, dude.
Yeah.
If there's anyone you want, dude, it's coming.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, I want to know, though, in 5 years' time, when all of this is done.
Yeah, honestly, year 5.
Oh, you think it's going to be done in 5 years? Okay.
Whatever. But how do you repackage this? Do you have, you already have Ultimate. Do you call it the Ultimate Edition? What do you call it?
The Ultimate Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
Definitive Ultimate Edition.
It's already Ultimate, but you have to buy the extra stuff to make it all the way Ultimate.
That's a funny thing. I think that's a good problem to have, though. They'll be happy to have that problem. But some of the wording, I don't know, just Sakurai's language that he was using in his messaging sounded like he might want to work on something else. Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm still working on this. We're going to work really hard.
He's sort of done that before.
Yeah.
He's playing into it.
He's playing into it. He also, the whole thing about like not packaging the future DLC content, said for this price, I feel like you're getting a lot. Like maybe Nintendo might be
specifically with the Banjo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they might possibly be reevaluating their pricing going forward. Maybe they don't do a pass. Maybe they just do them individually for like a
that Goku license is going to be expensive.
License.
Right.
So you got
that Naruto license.
That Naruto license though, yeah.
What?
Shonen.
Not going there. Going there. We're not going there. Not going there. We'll have. But I'm glad this train isn't ending.
Yeah.
The ride's still going.
For what
And
seems to be like a while.
Yeah, no foreseeable end,
Yeah.
and I love these reveals. I just want it to keep going on. I'm sure there'll be a point where we'll be like, oh, okay, Gohan's in it now, or whatever, and like.
Can you imagine, like,
What?
how phenomenal have all the promotional videos for this game been, right?
Oh,
Before
yeah.
it came out, the
Yes.
battle everyone, the
Yes.
Terry Bogard thing, the Banjo, Luigi dying, Castlevania, all that. Can you imagine if they teamed up and they just when Goku comes in the game, they just do it in Dragon Ball animation? And they have like Mario coming in, anime Mario, and just like blasting
Huber.
away.
This is what I wanted to
Like
avoid,
the video,
Huber.
the anime
Huber.
video of Dragon Ball coming to Smash will
Stop.
be the culmination.
Cease this. I wanted to avoid all this speculation
I'm
stuff.
I'm sorry.
Too much hype. No.
I'm sorry.
I would love that, Huber. And that's the possibilities. I think this is why someone like you, me, why we get excited about this is because we know they are willing to go to those lengths and do that. I'll just wrap up the Smash news here. I'm not going to save the rest for later. They talked about some other updates coming as well. The 5.0 update finally adding home run contest. This was data mined a while ago. We knew it was coming. And finally announced that they said the last mode, but with this game, we're learning not to trust
Right.
that anymore. That there could still be more in the works. Break the targets would be nice. Also, new Mii Fighter costumes. Team Rocket.
Team Rocket looked really, really fun.
Proto Man
It's
and
Proto
Zero.
Man and Zero.
Yeah.
And Sans from Undertale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a new Megalovania? I always get that song title wrong.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's getting a
I don't know that off the top of my head.
Because it's not Megalomaniac, it's
No, it's-
Megalovania, I think.
I think you're right.
Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
Yeah.
But we're getting a new remix
wrong.
for it. What? Oh, I'm wrong.
I said, yeah, you're probably wrong.
Oh yeah, I'm probably wrong. We're getting a new remix
Yeah.
as part of that
Yeah.
as well. That's pretty cool.
For like 75 cents.
Yeah.
That's insane. This game just keeps on giving and stuff. Even the characters.
Goemon is in there too.
Yeah, we forgot about Mystical Ninja.
Boss
That was the one I was forgetting.
Man.
Yeah, so good.
Dude, mental damage. Next time you boot it up, be Goemon. Next time you play against Kyle, he enters the game.
Yeah,
You're just
Kyle.
Like, yo, Kyle, let's go.
They also announced that going forward with 5.0 onward, Mii Fighters, you can customize those fighting moves freely. The restrictions in place on them are gone going forward.
Yeah. If
Well,
you make a new fighter.
New fighter.
Yeah.
And Soccer said, please re-upload your old ones and, to update them as well. That's all of Smash. Like, they're still, like, Smash still going hard. And they said they're
Thriving.
pleased with those sales.
Yeah.
Game is selling crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised it ends up their best-selling game of all time.
Can you
on
imagine,
Switch.
like, the snap dude, Thanos comes in, he's like, yo, Nintendo Switch, boom, and all of a sudden he's in Smash Bros.
And half the characters get deleted from
You
the
know?
roster. You
It
gotta bring
all-
them back, Heber. Okay, Heber's going crazy now. He wants all these things to happen.
Smash hype is
Makes you
the
believe.
best hype.
Makes you believe. And this next one, I've been believing that this would happen someday. This is their big finish, actually. This final announcement. We've got some big
called
finishers.
this.
And Monolith Soft, when they retweet a Nintendo Direct tweet, they've got something related to announce for that. And we got Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
So good.
So
Very nice.
good.
Very nice.
What is either of yours experience with Xenoblade Chronicles?
Oh, I played through it, but I played through it when the Wii U came out. So that was a while after
Yeah.
it originally released. But yeah, I was able to play it somewhat in HD, even though it wasn't, crazy. It wasn't like it was remastered or anything. It was just upscaled a little bit, a little more cleaner signal.
Have you touched it all, Huber? Did you ever get a chance to try it?
Just saw it at Brad's house.
Okay.
And then you remember the story of Brad hard quitting this game because he couldn't handle the way it looked.
Yeah.
He's like, he couldn't get into it.
Good point,
And if
Huber.
it's a 100-hour game or whatever, you want to be able to feel the vibes or the characters. You need to be in it if you're playing a game that long. And I think
Yes.
this version now will help that.
Great point, because to me, knowing what it looked like, remembering what it looked like, even at the time of its release, which was very far into the lifespan of the Wii. It wasn't the best looking game, but it was pushing those large environments, and that was its angle. It was going for more like technical, like what can we do technically on the Wii with a large scale game versus let's make it look, it's very, even aesthetically it suffered in a lot of places, but it did really good. There were spots in that game where it did a really good job of bringing everything together to actually look decent, especially like that soundtrack. Soundtrack's so good for that game. But this is a game that it came out on Wii. Wii was a very popular system, but I feel like it's been enough time, new generation of people get to experience it. Definitely. But they made it, as you said, they made it look better. The first thing you see is Shulk's face, like character-wise, and it looks so much better than what it looked like before. And I have to applaud them. I was like, I'm excited to play this again.
Dang. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I've really heard about the game is that it's one of the best.
Yeah, it is.
This thing is a masterpiece. Yeah. Everyone that's played this game or played through this always gets brought up as one of the best games.
It's honestly it's one of these games, Huber, where I mean I think I've described The Witcher a little bit like this too, but it's like one of these games where you get to a certain point and you're like, okay, I've got a handle on like what this world is like and what this story is going to be about and all of that. And then you push through for like another like 5 or 10 hours. And then there's all of this crazy stuff that happens, like revelations in the story, completely different places. And you're just like, okay, this game is amazing now. And then you play and then you get to another point and it's like, okay, I know what this is all about. And they're like, wait, what? What now? What are we talking about?
That's awesome.
And so just like the whole dynamics of like who your character is, how they relate to the rest of the world, how they relate to other characters, what the world is even about, and all the lore and everything behind it. It's just, there's so much craziness. And just the fact still, like, I don't know how you can ever top this idea of like, this world is just two giants that you're walking around on.
That
and
cool.
Just you get to these high points and these vistas and you look out and you see the other thing looking at you, or you're like walking across the sword that's like in this guy's gut. That's a battlefield, man. Between the two sides, it's just this sword stuck in his side.
Awesome.
And they're just frozen in this position. Yeah.
Redemption, man. It's going down.
I hope, even if you don't play, it's a long game here, but I hope you at least try it out. They did. So this game, it came out, they had a 3DS version that came out as well. But I feel like with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and then Shulk being so prominently featured in Smash Brothers now, there's probably an interest, a renewed interest in going back and people wanting to play the first Xenoblade Chronicles. I think it makes a lot of sense because I believe it was probably a toss-up if they're going to revisit an older game, this one and X for Wii U. And I think maybe people expected X to be the leading candidate because you're seeing all these Wii U ports to Switch.
Well, and it'd be easy.
Yeah.
I mean, you really, like, you could just, like with some of the other games, like, put it on the Switch, bump the frame rate, bump the resolution, and you're done, right? I mean, it's not simple, but, it's comparatively to with this, it's like they're having to completely, like, remodel these faces. Yeah. Like, what was on that face before, like, that's a reference point.
Yeah.
Like, it's a remaster,
they probably
but
threw it in the trash, went back to the illustration, and like, all right, put this on here.
With Monolith Soft's reputation, there's, from what I just saw, it was no way it was just a simple port job. No. It looked like there's a little bit more effort going into it. Just the shot of the trees and them rustling, I was like, okay, they really want you to feel that world.
Are they doing the remaster?
Yeah.
So it's internal?
As far as I know, it is. So
because that is amazing when that happens.
So Monolith Soft is if I don't see any extra information here. Okay. So I don't know if there's any outside assistance. Okay. They have that. They have a huge amount of people working on Breath of the Wild sequel, and then they're working on another project of their own. We've seen a few pieces of conceptual artwork for it. So we didn't see that yet. I think that's a next year announcement, and they're workhorses over there. Opening new studios, opening new offices. I think they were one of the most valuable assets at Nintendo today. And it's amazing to see where they've come from, being, Bandai Namco at one point, working on like Xenosaga and all that. It's, dude, they made a Dragon Ball RPG. for DS or something. I was looking up their history. They made a Dragon Ball.
I played some of those on those handhelds.
Yeah, like Saiyan something, or it was like Saiyan RPG or something.
Dude, I think I might have played that one.
Dude.
There's one where you're Goku and you like go around free roam kind of, but it's like top down.
Yeah, it looks like a old SAS RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Dude, sick.
Hubert, one of the best feelings, one of the best things you can do in this game, because there's like a lot of exploration, right? There's a lot of stuff that like go way off the beaten path for sure. But there's this place, there's this jungle full of dinosaurs for one, including like huge freaking things that will take you out. But there's where you're at there before you like really get to where the bigger dinosaurs and like the village and stuff is.
Yeah.
There's this massive waterfall, like makes Niagara Falls look like a joke. And
I love waterfalls.
But you can just like go across these bridges, like Indiana Jones style bridges around there. But
Oh
then
my gosh, that part.
you can just hop off and just fall. And that's what I'm saying is like the scale of this game and the fact that like there's so many places where you can just like fall or travel or whatever before you get to any kind of loading screen. It's just nuts.
Dude.
So yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition coming next year. Making a big deal about it.
Feels
I like
good.
it. Feels good.
My favorite thing is remasters, bringing games back, letting veterans replay them, and let newbies play them for the first time. You can never have enough remasters in my eyes.
Speaking of bringing back older things for newer people to experience them, the long-awaited arrival of... You right?
Sorry, I'm like bouncing into things over here, man. Sorry.
You were heralding the arrival of Super Nintendo games coming to Switch.
Nice.
With this, everything leaks or everything gets data mined or whatever, and like you never know when it's really going to happen, if it's ever going to happen. And back in December of last year, people start like lighting the fires, the beacons. They're coming. The Super Nintendo games are coming, and they are coming. They are coming September 5th.
September is loaded.
Got everything, man. All right, so SNES games are coming to Nintendo Switch as part of their online subscription service. So if you're paying that monthly fee or the yearly fee, how you're doing it, you now get access to a ever-growing catalog of Super Nintendo games. And they're going to launch with the following games. Familiar names here, but some not. What's up, Heber?
After you read them all, I was going to ask if any games on there are not on the SNES Mini.
Oh, there's a lot.
We can
Cool.
go. Yeah,
Very cool.
Feel free, Bloodworth, to state which, if you know offhand, which of these were not on the SNES Classic and are new. So Super Mario World, obviously been around. Super Mario Kart, The Legend of Zelda. Wow, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Stunt Race FX.
Yeah.
Available for the first time since its original release. So that is not on SNES Classic. Kirby's Dream Land 3.
Which I don't think is.
Don't think that one. There were 2 Kirby games on there on the SNES Classic.
Yeah, it's isn't it Superstar and then the Dream Course.
Dream Course.
So yeah. not Dreamland 3.
Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Star Fox. F-Zero. Pilot Wings, not on it.
Pilot
was
Wings,
not on
dude,
it.
Redemption.
Had to put on my European SNES Classic. Kirby's Dream Course.
Okay.
Brawl Brothers.
The hell is Brawl Brothers? Sounds rad.
Sure I've played it on Virtual Console or something, but I don't.
Was not on the SNES Classic.
Dude.
Don't remember what it is.
Not too familiar with it. Breath of Fire.
Yeah.
Breath of Fire 1?
Breath of Fire 1.
Wow.
Not on
Dude.
SNES Classic. Joe and Mac 2. Lost in the Tropics. Not on.
Why 2 and not 1? It's so
yeah,
funny.
I know. They're starting just jumping in with 2. Maybe they want to leave the strongest one, potentially.
Maybe.
It could be it.
I don't know if I ever played 2.
Super EDF Earth Defense Force.
It's so funny. Why bring that
believe it.
game back?
Wow.
Not on the SNES Classic.
So funny. And just a note, this is not the EDF that you know with the giant bugs and and the weird graphics and just funky stuff happening. This is way before that. It's a completely separate game with the exact same name.
What?
Yeah, you probably thought it was it too, like I did. I thought it was just EDF. But
Yeah, I
it's
thought you were
not.
gonna kill bugs in this thing.
Nope.
That's wild.
Nope. Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yeah.
Gotta use that rewind.
The real,
function.
let everyone beat it now. Cool. Use it if you want to, man. Play
The
how
one
you
thing
want
they
to play.
don't do that they could do is add a like cheat code, like Game Genie, Game Shark, like that type of support.
Yeah.
Like adding codes as well.
Don't make me go back to level 1 after I don't have the right item.
Super Puyo Puyo 2, available for the first time in the U.S. officially. Super Soccer, available for the first time since the original SNES release.
So great.
There's 2 more that weren't on the SNES Classic. And finally, Super Tennis, available for the first time since the original SNES release.
A lot of new stuff on there. It's cool.
Super Tennis was one of the first. I got a few games originally when I finally got a Super Nintendo as a kid. Super Tennis was one of those games. I played a ton of Super Tennis. I'm going to be revisiting that game for sure.
Nice. Oh, nostalgia right there.
Yeah. Are you excited about I mean, we've gone through the motions before with this. Like SNES Classic, a lot of hype behind it. I think there's more excitement behind that because also Star Fox 2, getting a physical system with the controllers. This is a service. Like, do you feel good about this? Is this making you more feel like if you're not already subscribed, do you think this is another thing that's strong enough?
This is a huge value for like that thing being like such a cheap subscription, you know?
Yeah.
And I think too, like I don't go to it a lot, but I do like going to those NES games when I travel or whatever, because like a lot of the time for me when I travel, like I want something that's just like a little simpler. Like I don't want to be like looking at that small screen and like trying to dive into something, or like I can't really hear that well with the headphones, you know, on a plane, and just being able to jump into a side scroller or an RPG or something like that. It makes a lot more sense to me than something where like I would prefer to be immersed. You know, I'd prefer to be someplace quiet in a dark room or whatever. And so like I think the Super NES totally fits that. I'm really excited about the controller because I held off on those NES controllers because I'm like, they're gonna do Super Nintendo and I can use that controller for the NES games too. And I'd rather just buy that. So I'm definitely gonna, whenever they actually put those things on sale, grab one or two of those.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we talked about the rare games, but for me, that's what it's all about. This is an opportunity to release rare games easily. Like a lot of those games never released in America, or first time in America since then. That is a doorway to the past and to old obscure games. I mean, the Super Nintendo launching with Star Fox 2, that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
So,
Huber,
like now there's the door is open for Turtles in Time.
there you go. I was gonna say, what do you want,
Come on
Huber?
home.
What do you want, Huber? What are these games that you've not seen that you want the classics back?
Turtles in Time is number one.
Nice.
Sunset Riders is another big one. Like those two off the top of my head.
I'm trying to remember, did
there, baby.
Square Enix put anything out for the NES lineup or no? Like that's just totally.
Oh, I thought we got. Did we not get Final Fantasy
Did we?
1?
Did we?
Thought we got Final Fantasy 1. Japan got 3, because that's the more popular one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because I couldn't remember if like Final Fantasy had actually made it onto that service or not.
I mean, oh, you mean on the Switch version?
On the Switch version.
No,
Yeah, not on the
no,
classics.
just a classic. Sorry, I misunderstood.
So I'm wondering though if there are things, you know, again, like we're talking about stuff that's never been really released before, that they might actually go for. You know, like would we somehow get Secret of Evermore? You know?
Yeah.
Would we get Illusion of
Gaia?
Gaia? Yeah,
Yep.
like it'd be really interesting to see. There's so many RPGs on the Super Nintendo library.
It gets
So many.
So many
That's
good-
what it is. That right there is
So,
possibility.
I just want to say this one thing about it. Why I'm so excited. Super Nintendo is one of my favorite consoles. Like NES only has so much appeal to me. It's harder to get back into those games as time goes on. For me, SNES games are more timeless.
They really
for
are.
me,
They
and they have a
really are.
wider catalog, larger catalog, and just I expect so many games to be added to it. And I can see myself playing this a lot
What's
more.
that one Kyle played? Terranigma.
Terranigma, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that never
another
came
one.
out in the US.
Yeah, that was EU only.
Yeah.
Or JPEU and not here. And then Secret of Evermore / Illusion of Gaia. Like they're all in the availability of these games, just like this digital library that grows, could be a way for people to experience these games for the first time. Huber, I love this. I love this. It's just the best of so many different worlds here.
Now, what's you think? Just really briefly, I don't want to take the deep dive, run out of time. Yeah. But N64, do you think that's going to happen, or do you think it's hard?
I kind of don't.
Doom 64, which we haven't gotten to, being announced. Let's just go to that. Doom 64, good transition here. Yeah. Doom 64 got announced, coming to Switch, the standalone game. I feel that might be the first step of we're not doing N64 Classic.
Right. We got Turok too.
Yeah, and we got Turok with the updated versions of those as well.
Yeah. So maybe it takes a little more work. So each N64 game they put out, it's like a bigger deal.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do. I've always worried about an N64 Classic because of the potential of the library with all the licensing and stuff. I feel like it's one of the smaller libraries, and it's largely dependent on games they need to negotiate access. Obviously, that Microsoft Nintendo buddy thing going on could open the doors for some of those literally rare games that people would expect to see. Yeah. But there's still a ton of other games that they'd have to work with to get those on a platform. Maybe leaving it up to individual publishers, like, hey, just put on the eShop, just put on Nintendo eShop and go from there.
Because I feel like N64 also would be kind of the last, like an N64 mini, because GameCube is like...
GameCube would make a great mini in terms of like a style.
Of course. But it's like, I feel like a lot of GameCubes are just easier to get. There's been a ton of remasters and stuff, compared to N64, I'm saying. And just like ease of access.
Sure. I mean, I the funny thing is like it.
I mean, rare games everywhere.
The GameCube market is like runaway.
For sure.
It's kind of nuts because I remember I needed to get something just for capture, right?
Yeah.
And I call up the store and I asked them about it. Well, no, it's like he just like instantly knew he didn't have it. And I'm like, how? Because I just like am thinking like the GameStop, like there's just this bin full of things, right? And you have to look it up. And it's like no, like GameCube games, people are just buying them like.
But
crazy.
That's what it kind of feels like. Is like if you want a GameCube game, you just spend the money. Like it's an absurd price. But N64 maybe just seems a little more rare. I don't know.
I mean, my thought on it is that N64 was the leap into third dimension.
Yeah.
And those games lend themselves better to being updated /remastered /remade, and there's more value in that, whereas these older 2D games, that's pretty much it. There have been updates to some of them, but it's not as lucrative to bring them forward and repackage them as a brand new game, as like, let's sell them as part of a library or whatever, where you can get access to all of them, because I think that's where their value is in the catalog. Whereas N64 onward, I think it's the individual games themselves hold the value.
Yeah.
More value. And
I kind of think too, you'll get some slowdown or whatever in some NES and Super NES games, and it's kind of comes with the territory. You kind of expect that. I do think that one of the things that catches people off guard when they play an original PlayStation or N64 game is the frame rate can tank, and it's just a mess at times. And so I think people want you to, at the very least, sharpen all of this up.
Yeah.
And, like what we're seeing with the Final Fantasy VIII. I haven't got to play it, but I'm going to play it like tomorrow.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and just like what they're doing with that, to really make it shine, even though it's an older game.
Make it shine.
Yeah, like Huber, I could say a lot of N64 games, like just like frame rate stuff being like standardized to like 30 frames would be a major upgrade for a lot of those games. That's a big deal. Yeah, and rather than just bring the originals over, maybe do slight tweaking to them so they could be a little bit more accessible and approachable by newer people and people on like modern gaming, like a modern gaming machine with expectations like that.
GoldenEye supported 16:9 too.
Yeah,
even back then.
So rad.
Dual analog with 2 N64 controllers, also possible. They were on to something, almost. Moving on from SNES Classic, we got our Wii U port to Switch. We were talking a lot about this in the pre-show and predicting which one might happen, and the winner was Fire Emblem Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Yes.
FE Encore. Encore. Gonna have that the Fire Emblem crossover game with Shin Megami Tensei. Wii U game. A lot of people who played it loved it, but didn't gain a lot of traction, probably a lot due to the Wii U.
Yeah.
Getting a second life on Switch now.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've got a like very obviously crazy niche game on a console that's sold to almost nobody.
Yeah.
And it's got like you look at the production value of that game. That was not a cheap game to make.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of that kind of drive and the motivation for why that's coming out as well.
I definitely think that he's like, now Fire Emblem is huge right now.
Oh, yeah, like this.
Yeah.
This is a...
Persona is huge right now.
Yes, this is... This has the potential to be huge. Coming out January 17th. Going to also include a new song and some new story elements. So you're going to get a little bit more from it.
Dude, these new story elements in games are freaking me out, man.
Oh, yeah?
This trend of new story...
Dragon Quest 11 was saying that too.
Yeah, like... I don't know, like, it's at one part of me is like, cool, like, add more, whatever, director's cut. But at the same time, it's like, can't help but feel like I'm missing out now on a definitive Dragon Quest experience. It's like it's a lot to ask of your dedicated fan base. You know, it's like, hey, play this 100-hour game. Guess what? We added more. Play it again.
Yeah.
It's like,
Persona 5 is doing that too. Yeah, with the Royal. Yeah, I'm like, I love
They
this game.
They have to find a way to get people
replaying it right away.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they got to do something, you know, like that.
Like Persona 5 maybe is a little more palatable for me because it's been longer. I don't know. There's got to be like a nice gap between this stuff.
Well, there's definitely like if it's been too long, then I don't care, right?
Yeah.
Like with Final Fantasy IV, the after years, it's just like, why did you do this? Why would you do this?
Yeah, like that was a waste of time. And then they had the in-between story as well, like with all that crap. Yeah. But I mean...
But with these, you would think that it's at least someone on that same writing staff is involved. So, it is, potentially valuable.
Sometimes, it's not even that significant of something.
Yeah.
Like it's a wild.
True.
I feel like it's a wild card more than anything, and that can make you a little uneasy and a little like anxious about do I need to really play it? What if it is significant?
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't significant. Okay, cool. But like you don't know that
until someone
plays
it. Messes up the pacing or like messes up the flow.
Yeah. I don't know. For at least in this instance, I don't think it's gonna probably do that. But I mean, I understand. Yeah, I get where the concerns are coming from. And that's the next one on the docket. I think it's gonna be a big deal. And I'll finally I own it for Wii U and I never played it.
Don't you?
And I'm probably gonna play this on Switch. But hey, did its job, right?
Yeah.
They spent a bit of time in this direct talking about Tetris 99.
We breezed over Doom. I just have one thought on
Oh yeah, let's go back to real quick.
Really quickly.
Yeah,
this is like such like Doom. You think Doom 3 is weird? Like comparatively, like Doom 64 was such a weird.
I feel like it's a black sheep kind of thing.
So explain.
Yeah.
I know of its existence. I even played at one point. But explain what is this? Like, where does it fit in? Like, is it a remake of 1? Like, is this its own thing? Like, what is it, Huber?
Not, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it has similarities. Like, the biggest thing I remember is two things. One, the soundtrack is really good in this game. Two, when I first got this game as a kid, I couldn't progress past like this really early part because it was so dark visually. I just remember getting lost everywhere. And then I revisited years later and like loved it. But it had a little more, how do I say? Like, it just felt a little slower. It feels a little more like you're exploring a little more. You know, like those older Dooms, you watch them now and people can fly through those things a million miles an hour. But like, this just was a little slower, a little more intimate, a little more intense.
Okay.
Yeah,
different vibes, different feel.
I've really only played it through once, like through renting it, and so I don't have like the best, like most solid memories of it.
Haven't played it in.
But I do remember really liking it, and what I do remember about it is that, again, like trying to call it a remake or something. It's like no, like it's like they made a game for the N64 that fit the N64 that played to the strengths and to the weaknesses. To like, okay, we know what's not going to work here. Let's not do that. And I think it's just a really interesting case of a game to check out. I feel like the art and like all the enemy designs are really different than anything else you see in the series. It just
feels so different while also feeling like Doom.
And
cool.
And I think it's one of those things where they did the Doom thing where it's like, this is basically a 2D sprite that you're fighting and you're looking at, rather than just like, oh, let's make everything 3D because it's cool right now. It's like, no. This game's going to look better if we make these 2D and make them really detailed and it works.
Yeah, for sure.
Sick.
Coming November 22nd. Thank you for not releasing it in September.
I think that's the day Doom Eternal comes out, though, right? November 20
while it's installing
something.
While it's installing, downloading,
it's around there.
Get around in.
But isn't Eternal coming day and date on Switch as well? I'm surprised they didn't mention that. They didn't even like reference.
Oh yeah, I thought I was gonna get like a
Cool on them, dude. It is 264's moment.
Pretty cool. That was the moment you lost it, Hubert. You were going all over the couch. You're just
we
like,
wanted
woo,
this.
Yeah.
A lot of allies in chat a while too, or like bring it up once in a while. 264s, it was good.
I'll try it out, man, when it comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, like actually play it significantly more than like what I tried out. But yeah, Doom 64, good stuff.
Yeah. Watch out for those early stages; they're really dark.
Okay.
Don't get lost.
Just your brightness. Just your brightness.
Just your brightness.
Just your brightness.
They'll be fine.
Just your brightness. One thing you will not need to adjust your brightness for is Tetris 99, getting more support, version 2.0, and a DLC update. There was a lot of stuff for this. So it's getting an Invictus mode, which is like they say is the hardest mode. You can't even access it unless you've won one of the like regular match before.
Victory Royale.
Yeah. So if you've won a Victory Royale, you're eligible to play it, and it's the first. In addition to this, they're getting daily missions that if you clear these missions, you acquire in-game tickets to exchange for custom themes, and that's where it brought me in. Was not that the fact that like I saw Mario and Zelda themes, which was a nod back to Tetris DS, that hooked me in.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I was like, oh, so we're finally embracing that. So this, I'm kind of curious. This feels like a really good success story, and something that came out of nowhere. That's and they're supporting it. They're doing the right thing by it.
I just need developers to go a little easy on the dailies.
Okay,
just scale it back. Scale back the dailies. Can we have like every other dailies instead? This like every single day thing, man. Too many.
Weeklies. We gotta get weeklies.
I'm fine with weeklies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here's my issue. My biggest issue with Tetris 99 having dailies. That game takes my brain over. I cannot go to that game every day. I will not play anything else. There's no
Taxing
way.
on the
like
mind,
once I
bud.
finally got like the number 1 slot, that was it. I was like, okay, game over. We're done. We're not doing this anymore because I cannot continue any more days without sleep.
Consume Daniel Bloodworth.
I was up
Jeez.
to like 7
I remember
with that
Blood
game.
doesn't sleep. The Slack message or whatever.
I really like that mode where if Invictus where you have to have a victory. I really love like leagues and like ladders and stuff, but I always go back to StarCraft 2. It's my favorite of all time, and I was so into it. And there's like Bronze League, Silver League, Gold League. More you win, you move up or you move down. Like I love that stuff. And if it's for a game that I'm really, really dedicated to, so I imagine the Tetris fans out there that are just playing all the time, dailies, they're pumped, more rewards for them. This mode, now they get an even bigger challenge with hopefully bigger rewards. So just a really good story here.
Yeah, Hubert. I think both these new additions are kind of like scratching itches for two different audiences. The more hardcore players who want something more challenging to keep them coming back. And then for players who might not be as good and just want to play casually, you're getting some kind of reward now, a reason to come back. And these new themes, that speaks more to someone like me, where I might now actually try this out. Yeah. Again, this game is free if you have a Nintendo Online subscription. Otherwise, you had no access to it, but that's changing because it is going to get on September 5th a physical version that will include this new Big Block DLC, and a 12-month individual membership to Nintendo Switch Online, and it's going to be $29.99. So you're getting that subscription and access
How
to the
much
game.
is the year subscription on it?
I think
its
it's
own?
$20. So I think the game's like $10.
Chill.
It's like $12 or $13. It's like not that much. I forget. Like it's so.
I haven't crunched the numbers. I'm gonna guess there's probably not that much of a difference. I think it's just the way of putting it in retail and selling the online subscription differently. Yeah.
Probably making a few bucks. Yeah. Difference between that. So yeah, pretty good thing. I hope they bring out more types of games like this, but at least this one, they didn't like it didn't become a success and they dropped it and said, that was all to it. They're thinking of ways to keep it going, strengthening that online subscription.
It's actually a really interesting strategy. Like it's kind of crazy. Like you're gonna put a game out there and you're gonna buy $30 game. That's the price of a 3DS game, right?
It's the whole Wii Sports thing. That was the biggest money maker with the Joy-Con, Wii Sports.
Oh, you mean Wii Play?
Oh, Wii Play.
Wii Play, sorry. Yeah, Wii Play.
With
Just
the Wii remote.
finding unique, clever ways to package things.
But but that was the opposite, right? Like you bought the game because all the stores were out of controllers. Yeah. And so like, I'll buy this game. With this, it's weird because it's like you're buying Tetris.
It's free to play though, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You're
if you have an
buying
online
Tetris,
subscription,
but you're getting this online subscription that you otherwise might not pay for, and then you start getting all the other benefits of it. It's a really it's a reverse kind of way of doing it. It's interesting.
Other products have been doing it, but I mean, it's a very good way to do it. The reason I lit up there is because I was thinking about ways to increase sales of stuff, Huber. If you're like want to be like a sales genius,
Brand manager, here we go.
With Wii Play, just like making the Genesis big brain right here. They missed a boat with Pokemon Sword and Shield. Each version should have come with a left or right Joy-Con that was exclusive. And like the left is only with Sword and right and the other one's with Shield.
So slimy.
And you need to buy both to get both those exclusive Pokemon colors. Oh, I'm gonna make so much money. No, not really making any money right now. It was too slimy even for Nintendo.
Good grief.
That would have been amazing. Which is a great segue because that's the next thing we're talking about is Pokemon Sword and Shield. Been doing these monthly updates. So they rolled this one into this direct. Revealed a new ghost type Pokemon, Poltegeist. What do you think about that Pokemon? The one Poltegeist.
As in
freaked me out.
Like teacup. It's in a tea kettle.
The way it came out of the like nozzle.
Teapot, sorry.
Freaky.
Yeah, it's made out of the tea.
Yeah, it's a ghost, but it's made out of tea somehow.
No, it's ghost tea.
What? Why can't it just be a ghost in a teapot?
It's the same thing that Luigi's made out of.
Oh.
We're gonna find out. Yeah, we're gonna get some RP lore behind that.
The tea.
Actually, I don't know.
There was like the duck one.
It's a cormorant, Cramorant.
Yeah.
So it's somehow I forget what the mechanic is.
It uses
somehow gets a fish stuck in its throat.
So
and if it's get attacked when the fish is stuck in its throat, then it'll spit the fish out.
I think
on
when
the guy.
it uses splash or whatever the water one is, I'm forgetting that or dive. One of the ones. It will then have a fish in its mouth, and if it gets attacked, it will do a counter and spit out the fish back at your opponent and do damage. And yeah, so they've been slowly trickling out these new Pokemon, but I don't think that was the biggest thing they revealed.
Seems a little uninspired to me, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm pessimistic here, but like.
Well, what
When
about
they're just animal ones?
Yeah, I
They
don't
had
know.
the sheep one too, and the corgi one, and
didn't do it for me. Those ones.
okay?
Just
they
that part.
all haven't been winners.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. There've been some hit or miss ones. The cake one, the creamy alchemy, and it's like a Gigantamax form is the one I thought was the most unique looking because it's turned into a cake. I was like,
is there a full tea set of Pokemon?
Yo.
Is that a whole new like branch,
Hey.
like fire type, water type, tea type? Like,
There we go. New food types because that was a big hook as well. Cooking
Yeah.
curry.
Yeah, so
Perfecting
got the
curry.
negative out of the way. Wasn't impressed with the 2 new Pokemon, but everything else about Pokemon is shaping up.
Because the curry cooking is part of the new campsite thing.
Yes.
You set up campsites and have people come visit your campsite.
This is so exciting because to me it's like the best way to interact with you guys now in Pokemon. Like I don't want to I don't want to boot it up and immediately be in the gym like battling you, you know? Or like in some menus, all right, now we're going to battle. Like now we get to be in the world with our Pokemon. I get to play with your Pokemon, you get to play, we get to make some food.
Yep.
So into this. This is great.
And they're going really all in with the curry stuff.
Yeah.
So over 100 recipes, and they say here that each one you cook and perfect will be registered to the curry dex.
I'm maxing my curry dex.
So you have a curry dex.
Yeah, that was my question.
Back to bloodstains. Yeah.
Can I make food for you? Like, can I prepare
That's what it said.
food
You
for
can prepare food. It sounded like you cook it. You have your reaction, and you put it. It looks like you put it out. I'm looking at the notes right here. Hang on. During
I really want to cook for you guys.
visit up to 4 players can hang out. Oh, it just says the cooking is in there. It doesn't say if you can feed it or not. Oh, and but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't, Huber. And then they're going further in. They're going more in on the customization.
Yeah.
More options, more than just tops and bottoms. I thought this, like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I thought there was a little bit more customization, especially in X and Y. There definitely was a decent amount of customization there, but not nearly enough. And this one looks like it's finally approaching that it's finally enough.
Yeah.
Might not be as in-depth as everyone wishing, but it's finally at a baseline that's acceptable.
Yeah.
And glad it finally made it.
Hopefully you can
everything
more
slowly.
Stuff. Like, let me, win some at a gym, some other like clothing options. Let me
How you
find
get
all
access?
that
Because it
stuff.
looks like you just buy it all. If they
Yeah.
can get access by like winning,
Or
okay.
find hidden stuff. Like, yeah.
Do your weeklies.
Do your dailies. And the world is looking great. Like, everything about Pokemon has me really excited.
Shut off some new,
Yeah.
like short little shots of different areas. I feel like we hadn't gotten an in-depth look at before. Not the wild area, but like actual town locations.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
more a seaside one, like more the ice one, snowy one. Pretty good stuff. We also skip ahead. We also got a look at what town has become.
Oh, yeah.
Little Town Hero, also a Game Freak production. Yeah, what do you think about the update to it? And it's got a release date now, coming October 16th. So coming out before Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like we haven't heard a whole lot about this game for a while.
Yeah.
And now here it is.
It just got announced, and then this is the next update we've had to it, I feel like.
I mean, it's always been this idea of like everything being centered around the town, and so it's always been conceptually seeming like a smaller type of a game. But yeah, it's very interesting. I'm curious how it's all going to work out. They talked about like while you're in battle, like being able to move to where like different NPCs are at and get them to like assist you in fights and that kind of thing.
Yeah, like it's like the support system they were talking about with the townspeople.
Yeah. Like, everything looks cool. The concept and idea of this game is really cool. But it's one of those ones I just know I'm never going to play. Personally.
Not even
know?
having music composed by Toby Fox.
Yeah, the music. I mean,
Oh
the
yeah, what a
character-
weird announcement.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
character's name was Axe, even.
There was so much pandering to you in
I
this, Huber.
I know, and it's all about towns and economy, but I just don't know if it looked cool, it looked fine, but I just don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can understand that. Like for me,
Yeah.
it's something I probably won't try out.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch some videos of it, but nothing in this presentation sold me on it, honestly.
I appreciate it,
But
though.
yeah.
that's the worst feeling, though. I feel like for me with games,
Yeah, it's just not for me. That's
it's
all
like,
I mean.
I
yeah.
really like that. That's cool, but I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah.
It's like
For sure. They talked a little. They gave some lip service in Link's Awakening coming out later this month. Nothing new talked about, so just giving it some love. Same thing I feel like with Daemon X Machina as well. They said like they're getting a new demo.
Prologue demo.
Getting a new Prologue demo, which will carry over. Progress will carry over. Love those types of demos.
the best kind.
That trailer did get me a little bit more excited for it. I had been
Yeah.
riding
feel
a little
Some
low.
fast-paced
Yeah.
mech action.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of those games where there's like, we were talking about Xenoblade, like pushing the hardware in certain ways to where they're just kind of like forgets about everything else. I feel like Daemon X Machina is like that.
Yeah.
It's like, we want these giant things and we want lots and lots of missiles on screen. Screw the rest of it. Put in the loud metal. Here we go.
Yeah.
Mech's making a comeback, man.
But I
No
mean,
Wolf Chaos.
It could just be like they chose very specific scenes to cut it that way because playing the first demo that came out, there's a lot of slow-paced moments in that. A lot of planning, a lot of walking around, interacting, like a lot of menu stuff. Like it's not always
You really customize the mech a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
you
not-
really make it your own.
always being out there. It's not as snappy as that. Like I think the game, my biggest concern with that game is the time cost it takes to jump into the next mission. Like, does that process speed up, or you really have to spend a lot of time between missions, like customizing and like wandering around, whatever it is? That's not what I want out of this game. I just want mech action.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
get
I
it
mean,
quickly.
having not played a lot of those things and not gotten, other than like Ace Combat, a lot of, flight games that I guess were probably the most comparable. I actually like put a lot of time into that first demo, and it's funny like because how they updated the Switch so that you can see like how much you played things. Like I put more time into that demo, just getting through that demo, than like some full games that I own.
What?
Wow.
Nice.
All right, professional.
Yeah.
But I think it's because it's just a genre we don't see it a lot of right now.
Yeah.
It's making a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it does well. It's coming out in a brutal month, though. September 13th.
A little bit ahead of some of the others, at least.
Yeah, it's in the earlier half, so I
Yeah.
think it's the second half's the more intense. A lot of stuff coming
It's gonna
out.
be a game a lot of people start and don't finish because something the next week
It's
will
like-
interrupt.
You know what it is? It's like what was that appetizer? Like the Chili's, like triple dipper, like those
Awesome
restaurants
Blossom,
that have like the
Bloomin'
multiple
Onion.
appetizers. You can get like different.
Fiesta
Like-
platter.
It's like that. It's not quite a buffet because buffet is like a little lower key. There's like these are
sampler.
more quality. Yeah, it is the sampler here. This is the sampler, and you're just gonna get a little nibble of each of these, and you just got to move on because you just don't have enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough for a full course meal here.
There's no time, man. I gotta
Yeah.
catch up on My Hero.
Yeah, we got. Oh god. No. Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yes,
Big update
Was-
on this game.
dude.
Yo.
Dude.
The different themes they talked about, because we talked about they're going to do these different floors and they have different themes, and the Tomb Suites, a pirate themed
Yes.
restaurant, like
The
the
mummies,
the
dude.
mummy stuff. When I saw that moment, and then like sucking up sand,
Yeah,
I was like,
no limits.
I was just like, yes, the creativity in this game is going to be amazing. This
Yeah.
is what I
wonder if-
want.
I wonder if there's a downside to sucking up sand.
Clogs. your,
Yeah,
Yeah.
jamming, damage. Yeah, you got to be careful. Maybe they'll work that in as a gaming mechanic. Like
Yeah.
you can't do too much of it.
You need to upgrade your filter.
Looks good. Can't wait to play it.
Yep.
But I want to know your thoughts on the new Scream Park Party mode.
Oh, yeah.
Where 2 8-player teams can battle against each other. Team Luigi team and Gooigi team using 8 Joy-Cons in one system potentially.
Can go one of two ways.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can
exactly.
totally be a Mario Party style thing where this is amazing, we're gonna do it all the time, or completely a waste of time and resources, some bolted on way to add multiplayer. Have no idea. Some of them looked good. The first one it showed with all the chaos everywhere, I was like, I don't know about that one. That just seems like everyone's mashing. But there were a couple that looked pretty decent. There were like 2 sides, and people kept like going back and forth.
Yeah, it seems like the objective, real quick, it's the teams compete to see who can defeat the most ghosts, collect the most coins, or break the most targets. So those are the 3 objectives.
Okay.
So if you're curious about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about it, Blood?
Yeah, I think I'm with Hewers where like I from just seeing it for a few seconds, I don't know, like I make a snap judgment on it.
Okay.
I'm I'm always interested and excited for something that gets a lot of people together. But
Group stream
8
potential.
people on a screen is some chaos.
It looked really chaotic, which is cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Always.
I wonder if it's gonna have any like a Overcooked vibe where you gotta like work together, like the 4 of you, like you
Yeah.
gotta assign different responsibilities on each map or whatever. That
Yeah.
might be cool. Yeah, October 31st. Good day, perfect time. Nailing it. Those Friday releases for Nintendo.
It is absolute perfection.
Friday, October 31st.
That is so hype, man. I'm going to be playing that next to my jack-o'-lantern. Yes.
Yeah.
So excited.
I'm curious to get both your thoughts on the Animal Crossing New Horizons update. That little like Tom Nook presentation.
Wasn't a lot of update there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like a lot of it was really. It was a repackaging of the stuff that was in the treehouse that you had to sit around and wait for after the Nintendo Direct there to get that info, and like, okay, now we've got this in a more digestible form, but I don't know if I could really like spot anything and say definitively, oh, that was new.
Planting the tree.
Digging up the tree, got like some reactions.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing. Like even stuff like that, I'm like, I feel like it was new. Somebody will correct me.
Yeah, somebody will be like, oh, they showed that. Totally.
Yeah. I would like to have. I kind of bummed not having Jones here since he's the biggest of us. The biggest
I don't even know if he really dug that deep into
I'm curious
treehouse.
From someone who's excited about this. I really want to get that perspective because unfortunately I'm not the biggest Animal Crossing fan. I spent the most time in the DS one. I really never gone back to any of the other ones, and I just want to know like what speaks to like is the vibe for this good? Are Animal Crossing enthusiasts hyped on this? Like, did this get them more excited, or
I'm still I'm in a weird place, but I feel like I've gone through this before with Animal Crossing to where I'm not that psyched for like the 3DS game. Like I wasn't that excited for it, but it came around. I was like, well, I guess I'm the guy that's reviewing it, and then all of a sudden I'm like grouping up and playing with people that I don't know, that I've like just somehow like ended up. I don't even know how I ended up in these groups. I think maybe because I was playing it before release, and then like who else was playing it before release, and then it was just kept playing, and then like they're playing with somebody else that they know and their friend, and then like we just ended up in this weird Animal Crossing community that was entirely separate. Like, developers' wives and things like that. It was just, it was a very different experience. And I kind of feel like this is maybe going to have that same sort of arc to where, like, I don't know how I feel about all these features and being on this, like, weird camping trip thing. But then once I just start getting into it, I'm going to get sucked in.
That's the thing. It's so hard to show this game. Like, it's a game where you just, like, leave on in the background, or if you, like, boot up on a lazy Sunday afternoon and you don't do much that like looks spectacular on the screen, nothing's exploding or you're not getting crazy weaponry. It's just a very laid back, mellow, cozy vibe. And I think out of every game that doesn't need it, but I think of all the games that could benefit from a pre-release demo, Animal Crossing is the one. Give us a little prologue, kind of enter this world, maybe start to build up our little tent or something. Or I think a demo would go a long way.
So once we play Pocket Camp.
I mean, I do feel like there's a lot of Pocket Camp vibes coming through there, and for whatever reason, like I'm not that into that game, so I hope it's not too much. I hope it's not overbearing.
Yeah.
But
it's a concern. I feel like this game lives and dies by like community interaction, like playing with other people. They obviously have the support there that they advertised here in this direct, and I feel a large amount of your enjoyment can come from how good of an experience you have interacting with other people and how interesting they make the game experience. Yeah. And I don't think I've had that. I had a mostly isolated, like, even though Animal Crossing DS had an online component to it, and obviously had a few people come visit my town, it didn't really do anything for me.
This also feels like for the fans are just like, just put it out. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
Like Jones, too, is just like, I don't need anything other than just Animal Crossing, So it's like, there are no demands or like, oh, we want to see this feature or that. It just seems like, hey, as long as we get Animal Crossing on Switch, we're happy. So that's just kind of the feeling I get. Correct me if I'm wrong, Animal Crossing fans, but I know Jones was saying that too.
I don't want to be dismissive, but it does feel like just announce it.
We're happy to
it should be. You should have announced it close to release date and be like, hey, it's coming out in like in 3 or 6 months. There you go. Don't need to really market it any more than that because it is just Animal Crossing. curious to see how people enjoy it when it finally comes out. Coming out, March 20th of next year.
Nice.
So we already got the delay news last time at E3. They also talked about at the near the beginning of the direct. They talked about Super Kirby Clash. Super Kirby Clash.
Yeah.
I mistook this for an update to the Switch game, but this is a what they call it free to start is the term they use.
Free to start.
It's a multiplayer action game where players choose from four unique roles and join up to take down tough bosses. Kind of like a boss rush. Yeah, it's pretty much that. It is. You can pass a Joy-Con controller to a friend to play locally, and if you have a Switch Online membership, you can play online. It's exclusively on the eShop, so it's a digital-only title. Blood, you're more like the most into Kirby of the three of us. Like, what did you like? Did that really like make you intrigued to it?
Battles, like I don't know, man. Like it's a weird. Kirby is just like it. You go through these worlds and you experience, just the platforming and the fun of sucking in different powers and using them, and then I don't know. I don't know how the pay mechanics are going to work in this.
I was
to just like
trying to look that up here.
Equip an ability and then go fight a boss is I don't know. It doesn't seem that exciting to me.
Puff up power by crafting weapons or use gem apples, which can be earned as in-game currency or purchased using real world money to recharge vigor, a resource that recharges over time. There you go.
It's a mobile game.
Yeah.
It's just a mobile game.
I think people will check it out. Some people might have a good time with it, but it's worth doing. I feel like I know Kirby might be a series that it sells well, but it doesn't seem to get that critical mass that some of their other bigger friends. Like I don't even say Fire Emblem's eclipsed it at this point. Like Fire Emblem right now is a bigger, more valuable property than Kirby, and it kind of stinks because Kirby is a mascot for Nintendo. And I think they're just trying out different things. That's like, what can we do to make Kirby even?
Kirby Kirby is he's a big ball that's malleable into like whatever you want to do with him. So that's always been Kirby.
Yeah,
like back from some of the early games. So it's not that surprising, but it's just not very exciting for me.
Yeah.
Even as a free to play game.
Yeah.
Low effort. Low barrier to entry on that.
Yeah.
Maybe you try it out. We'll see.
He was leading the charge in Smash.
Yeah. Kirby is the most powerful character in the Nintendo universe.
Yeah.
He actually could fight Thanos.
Thanos. That's why Thanos hasn't come.
So when Thanos gets added, they have to figure out a way to get Thanos into the game where he could stand up to Kirby and make that fight a little bit more, interesting, because it'd be too one-sided as it is right now. Yeah. No. We got a lot of ports announced for the Switch in this presentation. We covered a few of them. Some ones we didn't cover yet. Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition. I was questioning why that would be on, like why would someone want to play it on Switch until they brought up the whole 4-player on their own systems, like playing locally like that. I was like, oh, there you go. Like,
and the Steam
cross save, dude.
Yes, which is not
opened the door of possibilities.
Yes,
the door's box.
Big deal right there. Letting those cross save ability, a real world thing, happening. And Nintendo of all people, they seem to be the most restrictive with save data.
Right.
Hey, Pokemon, can't upload your save data to that because you might find a way to hack it and cheat. It's like, okay, really?
Well, anything that was online, I don't know how much of it now.
Oh, back in the day, all the online save data used to just be locked out by default with Nintendo and all their systems for the most part. And then the fact that Switch couldn't even back up saves for the longest time. Like, we're all worrying, will my Zelda Breath of the Wild save? Yo, can I protect this? Protected now, but concern there. So doing this, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's
pretty
incredible.
cool.
The idea of being on my computer playing Divinity for 10 hours. Oh, I'm going on a trip or I gotta go. Swap that save on the
Perfect.
Switch. Now I'm taking my game
Yeah.
on the go.
And
That
again,
one
as we're talking about like these really long games, like just having
Yes.
that incentive to be able to do that. I mean, obviously you're paying for the game twice, so that's an issue.
Oh.
But I didn't see a price on it, so I don't know if it's gonna be full price or it might be discounted. But yeah, like you're not getting the game for
Oh
free.
yeah, I forgot about that little wrinkle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a premium.
Yeah.
What's the phrase I'm looking for? It's like when something's like really nice and you have it.
Feature.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, you mean
It's a premium feature.
Like novelty?
Yeah.
Perk, novelty.
It'll come to me. I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, for those who might, already have a save and looking to like play it again, maybe there's a different path they want to take on it, different
Yeah.
like try it out again, a different playthrough. There you go. Bring over stuff if you need to. Return of the Obra Dinn.
Cool looking game.
Yeah.
Still haven't played it.
A lot of
but,
awards, a
yeah.
lot of mentions.
Beyond my brain power.
Yeah, this looks awesome. I feel like it's something I would play, like a group selection or something like that.
Yeah, with like Ian in the room guiding.
Just-
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like I need a tour guide for that
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Someone who I could trust a little bit more than myself to make some actual progress in that game, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't progress, Tommy. You'd just be exploring.
I'd just be trying to jump off stuff.
Yeah.
like-
Be like, oh, what's over here?
and they'd be like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing right now. But I want to have some fun. Where's like the platforming in this? How do you fire the cannons?
Oh my gosh.
See, yeah, but that's but not obviously the game is got a lot of critical acclaim from people
Yeah.
who played it, so it's worth checking out and another way for people to check out this game if they haven't played it before. And
Totally.
yeah, here we go, Huber. Deadly Premonition 2, a blessing in
I
disguise.
cannot believe this.
Does this
And
exist?
the one that it exists, and two, the way this happened, they're like, all right, Deadly Premonition 2, here's a trailer, boom, moving on. It was so fast.
That's the thing, though, is they start playing the trailer before the like title card comes up. They don't announce it, and you just see him, and you're like,
Wait a sec.
I know that. This is Deadly
Yeah.
Premonition.
And then, like,
And
number
then there's
two.
two. Two? There's not a two.
Yeah.
You're announcing two right now with just the title card.
And then beautifully releasing the first one on Switch, which is not available on
Origins, yeah.
PS4 or Xbox One. So
wow,
current
yeah.
consoles, it's on PC as well. But as far as the big three go, now it is only available on Switch
And Shadow dropped.
and Shadow Dropped.
Shadow dropped.
It's fantastic.
Good stuff. I'm happy for you, Huber. Happy for everyone who wanted this.
Yep.
And like
Ian and I, we gotta do
good
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
We gotta play.
Might have to join and see what it's about because I
Yeah.
just missed the boat on it. But now I get a second chance. What do you think about Rogue Company? Brand new game announced that 5v5
I know
online.
what to think of that game, man.
I think it looked really
Yeah.
cool. It's on my radar for sure.
It does.
Yeah.
It wasn't really speaking to me.
I think it had a pretty okay style. I'm not like, oh my god, I'm hyped for this, but like, oh, one to keep tabs on. I think this could be a surprise, a pleasant surprise.
High res, they do Smite, huh?
That's it. I got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I was like,
Might.
what?
Okay.
So it should be good.
It should be good.
It should be good.
I think it looks good.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Another one you got excited for, Huber. Another classic coming back. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast.
What is happening?
What is
dude?
happening?
What is
Where are these games coming from?
What is happening?
What?
Apparently that's on PS4 as well.
Yeah, we saw some people letting us know that it's not just coming to Switch, but coming September 24th. More September games,
month.
man. It's like this is the only month of the year for video games. Like someone made a deal. Like what was the 2017 like amazing year of games?
Yeah.
Like the cost of that was now in 2019 you must release every game in 1 month. Like some like devil trickster was like, I'll make you all like have the greatest games ever.
Yeah.
But like for my amusement, 1 month in 1 year in the future, you gotta release all your games, no matter how crowded it gets. I just want to see the chaos.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Kyle Katarn back.
Yeah, Dark Force is obviously kind of a hard game to track down. It's probably on PC somewhere.
Dude,
but
first time I saw that game was on a PlayStation, actually. Not this one, but a Dark Forces game. Yeah.
But this is incredible. I have a feeling there are a lot of people out there that have not played this game. Now's your chance. This to me is one of the best Star Wars games of all time, unquestionably. This is a fantastic game. It's first and third person. really good story, like, and it's a cool Star Wars story that like is tied to the existing stuff in like smart and nice ways. It doesn't feel like some weird expanded universe spinoff. Like the story's pretty cool. I really like it. And just the lightsaber combat is so fun.
I highlighted it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Man,
So,
these are some of the games I played on like early on PC.
Yep.
Some of my first early gaming experiences
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Good stuff.
running on the wall, dude, and the side flip off
Yeah.
is so
Cannot-
cool.
Yeah, definitely getting this one.
Hopefully they bring Jedi Academy also.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
Jedi
Academy.
the
That was my
story-
first one. Yeah.
Jedi Academy, the story was not even a fraction as good as Jedi Outcast.
Yeah.
But you could create and customize your lightsabers. So you could do like
Yeah.
double bladed or two.
Maybe I'm trying to remember.
Sick.
One of them was on GameCube or something. I like
I think it
remember
was-
playing it at
thought it was
like a
2.
Yeah, it's
cube,
probably Outcast.
cube
That
club.
was Outcast.
Yeah.
Do you remember the cube clubs?
Oh, forget.
It was basically just like it was like a preview tour kind of thing. They would just like rent like an empty office somewhere, and for like a week or a weekend, they would just have GameCube like previews. It was like a mini E3.
Whoa, dude.
Whoa, what
they
is
had them in like
this?
Hollywood for a couple
Dropping
years.
bombs on Damiani.
Yo, what is this mystical knowledge
Yeah,
here from
some
Legendary?
Nintendo
Yeah, I didn't know
lore.
about this. I thought when you said preview, thought like, oh, those like the demo discs they used to
Yeah.
send out. Like, no, they're like this VIP like office
It wasn't just
converted.
no, it was like open to the
Briefcase.
public.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
if you knew about it and lived near it, that's the VIP part. Living out in California at that time. Yeah, nice. They brought up Witcher 3 Wild Hunt,
Oh yeah,
complete edition. Obviously, nothing new there, just
yeah. I don't
coming.
really say much about it.
Yeah,
It's just there.
just giving it more some
I'm really
lip service
hard
because
on
it's
it.
a big deal.
I'm really hard on
Yeah.
it, but I appreciate that it exists. For
Yeah.
all
Now
the-
CD Projekt has got a challenge from the Divinity devs.
yeah.
It's like, oh, cross save.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed: The Rebel Collection, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and Assassin's Creed Rogue coming to Switch.
Excellent.
It makes sense because they were both last gen games.
Yeah, but haven't those Assassin's Creed ports been a little shaky on Switch?
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
3 looked
so
In
three.
terrible
general,
in
yeah.
the trailers.
They-
yeah.
This didn't look
They finally
terrible.
patched that up, but it's still a little.
Okay, maybe they learned their lesson and improved that. Like, it didn't
'Cause
look
the,
awful from the trailer.
And they remember the Ezio collection got a bad rap in
Mm.
the beginning because of something to do with climbing and like weird faces. But I recently went through the Assassin's Creed 2 remaster and had a fantastic time. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah.
All the single player DLC will be included, and it will feature touch control and motion aiming, and it's coming December 6th.
Nice.
They talked a little bit about Dauntless.
Still going.
Yeah, free to play action RPG. I think we've known about this. Nothing new really there. Trials of Mana.
Oh,
Announced at
yeah.
E3, got a release date, April 24th, 2020.
Bloodworth, Mana Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
You
funny
are-
because we've just, we've put like 4 hours into this game so
Yeah.
far.
This,
but it's
wait,
nice.
this exact one, the original,
The original.
of
Yeah.
this.
This is
Okay.
the one we've been streaming the past
And
couple
they're
of weeks.
remaking the one you're streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And so yeah, so it's interesting to like just get like a peek at those characters and like fully fleshed out polygon models, and I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Like in terms of production quality, yeah, it looks way better than I expected. Especially
colors and everything
especially
gave me
compared to
a-
like the Secret of Mana remake that
Yeah.
did not look very great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
This
game
gave
that
me-
game looked like a 3DS game or something,
Yeah.
or PSP or I don't know.
I felt the like Dragon Quest level production. values
Yeah,
here.
I was thinking for Dragon
vibes.
Quest models for
Yeah.
a second. It's like, whoa, those Dragon Quest 11
Yeah.
models? What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this thing seems high budge.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it'll be a pretty big deal when it comes out next year, despite being part of the collection, the OG version, which previously had not come out here either.
So
Yeah.
it's Trials of Mana,
Yeah.
yeah.
and what's is Secret of Mana?
Trails is
Trails of
Trials.
Trials.
Yeah.
So what's
There's Mana
where are we
collection.
at? Yeah, where are we
Okay,
at?
so the collection is the first 3 games.
Okay,
The first one is Final Fantasy Adventure on the Game Boy.
got it.
The second game is Secret
Secret
of
of
Mana,
Mana is
which is
number
what most
2.
people are
Okay.
familiar with the game or the series. And then the third game never came out of Japan until this collection.
Got it. And it's
But
Trials
because they're
of
making
Mana.
the remake,
Okay.
they have the localization.
Great.
So they were able to localize
So
it.
it's a trilogy.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's a lot more.
There's
games
more.
after
There's
that.
more than that, but these are like the
This is-
core
yeah.
first
core
3, and like the ones that are probably the most well known.
And 3 Trials has a hugely
And because
great
the first one
reputation.
is Final Fantasy, is it in the same universe?
No. It just was called that from they localized it as that here because I thought it would sell, but it's
yes
not
and
Final.
no.
It's not Final Fantasy.
It's a spin-off.
Yeah.
It is legit a spin-off. If you go back and you look at Final Fantasy Adventure, like because there's that thing is like, okay, they didn't call it Final Fantasy in Japan.
Yeah.
You know, they called it Seiken Densetsu. But what if you look at that game, so many of those sprites all over the place are lifted directly from the Final Fantasy series.
Got it.
Production-wise,
But
yes.
lore-wise,
And
it's
there's
not in the same universe.
chocobos, there's
Huh?
Moogles.
Do they call them chocobos?
It's called a chocobo.
Yeah.
And it's called a Moogle.
And it has a chocobo theme that plays.
It's this
The
weird
Moogle
thing.
is weird because
It's
the
in
Moogle is
there.
a status effect.
That's
you get
weird.
turned into a Moogle.
Whoa.
It obviously had
Sick.
like some weird thing in the start, but like I think going since then, it's not actively
it's-
viewed as part of the Final
It
Fantasy.
became its own
yeah.
series after that.
Yeah.
Got it.
But it's a
But
creation.
essentially the first game, it's like if you took like Final Fantasy and Zelda and you had a baby.
Okay.
So it's like
Cool.
like an action game, but with levels
Awesome.
and dungeons, and but like you get XP and all of that. So
Cool.
and then you've got like the big thing with the monasteries really is that you always have like these companions that you meet along the way.
Bonds.
And they'll assist you. And so like the chocobo is one of your companions.
Nice.
And then later on in the game, like it becomes Chocobot, and so you've got like this freaking mech chocobo.
I didn't know that.
Dude, sick.
Yeah, I never actually fully played through
So
Final Fantasy
rad.
Adventure. Yeah, when it came out.
Choco bot, dude.
But these are things like you thought would never happen though, and they're now like becoming a reality.
Yeah.
Like both the OG version getting localized and then
Everything's
a
possible.
remake. Yeah, this is insane. Like props to
Props
that
to video
effort.
games.
Yeah. Another props. This direct actually sold me a little bit more. Like more I hear about this game, the more new things I've heard about it, the more I'm actually interested in it. And this is a series I dismissed
Half-Life
forever
3?
ago. No, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. So Tokyo 2020 is the newest
Yeah,
version.
this game is
but after
it's
the
trying to make us think it's good somehow.
yeah, after the first one, I kind of like wrote off the series like they're all gonna be the same damn thing, alternating between winter and summer games, and it's not what I wanted. There are some worthwhile moments here and there, like the figure skating thing we did in the group stream one point, but they talked more about the Tokyo. They showed again the Tokyo 1964 mode, which is like the retro sprite mode,
Yeah.
which that was like, whoa,
Yeah.
I'm captivated by this. I will at least play this just for this mode. And then they talked about like a story mode, like
Some other
about
dimension.
a game about a game based on, and they're in a video game based on. I was like, wait, what are we doing here? Coming out November 5th, like everything they talked about, the new feature wise
We
for
need to
this
stream
game,
this.
I'm now want to try this out.
It's always seemed like such a great party game.
Yeah,
They seem fun.
I
remember growing up with Nagano Winter Olympics '98, playing the hell out of that game. Like these Olympic games are fun.
Yeah, I think the issue has always been that they can come across being pretty shallow.
yes,
It's like, okay, this is, there's all of these events, but essentially they just come down to, mashing
Mash
this
it,
button
yeah.
or,
They also-
running in place or shaking
yeah,
a
like
Wii
the
remote.
motion control stuff. Like they
Yeah.
had a weird patch of being on like Wii where it just got a little out of hand for my personal preferences. I just said I'm done with this motion crap. Honestly, like I don't want to play these games this way anymore. And they were just fully embracing that. And I said, all right, no, I'm completely disinterested at this
I also
point.
feel like it's been a while. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember was it Rio? I mean, not the little.
Maybe.
Did they make a Mario and Sonic at Rio? I'm trying to.
I think they did.
I thought they always
They
make
probably
these.
did. I'm
just
feel like
forgetting it.
I feel like there's way more being done with this game in
Oh.
terms of both like marketing it outside of just like whoever's going to pick it up on the store shelf, because the Olympics are the big thing right now. I just
Do you
like
think-
they're talking about it way earlier than.
Do you think it has something to do with the Olympics being in Tokyo for 2020?
It's got-
like in
Maybe.
Sega, like maybe they're trying to do something
Yeah.
big for it.
Definitely, dude.
Potentially?
making it a bigger deal?
Yeah, that could be it. But I'm glad they're whatever the reason. I'm glad they're doing it because it's
Will in real life Mario hold the Olympic torch?
maybe
Oh,
I think
yeah,
yes. I think yes.
potentially.
that's a pretty good.
I don't know if that's too far.
I don't know about holding the torch.
I'd love it.
I don't think he hold the torch. I think that you will see Mario
But
somehow.
yeah, being
Okay.
present in some form, I would say is a very safe
Sweet.
bet.
Sweet.
Yeah. They went over with three new amiibo figures. So this is funny. What are the 3 amiibo figures we saw in the Nintendo Direct? Can you recall any of them?
Snake.
Snake, Squirtle, and Ivysaur?
Yeah, because this email right here says 3 new amiibo figures in Super Smash Bros. Series, Incineroar, Chrom, and Simon Belmont will launch on November 15th.
What?
Leaks. Leaks.
Incineroar. I want to see the Incineroar.
Leaks, dude.
Chrom, and what was the third one?
Simon Belmont. So I think they got
wow.
Dude, give it Simon Belmont.
Yeah. I think they just got that part.
Simon would be a cool one to have.
Yeah. So I don't know about what this was, but like the ones we saw were Snake, Squirtle, and Ivysaur.
I'm kind of off the amiibo train.
Yeah.
Though, because it's like the way I'd always approach it is I don't care about going crazy about collecting them all because it became quickly apparent that would not be a possibility.
Yeah. Let's get a lot of money.
And especially with like the store favoritism, like you guys get this one and you guys get that one.
That was the end for me. I was like, okay, enough.
Yeah. And then especially finding out that like, oh, Europe's just got everything. Just pick it up off the shelf and send it to me.
Yeah, they're in the height of the craze. It's like, yeah, please send me in. And you found out there's no real difference like the packaging. It's like, oh, well, yeah, buy me one, please.
But essentially the way I'd approached it before, it would be like the stocking stuffer thing. So we would when we would get home for Christmas, we'd be out shopping for other people and like, show my wife or my family like, oh, okay, like Walmart's got this one and that one, and like those would be cool, if you got them. But now like I think the last time I went to Walmart, like they just cleared all that out. They're just not doing it anymore. So like there's maybe Target still got them or Best Buy. I don't know how many people still have them, but I feel like it's becoming more and more of like you got to get this thing from Amazon or you're not gonna get it. And it's like I'm not gonna order one online. I'm just not.
I know the only one I'm interested in is the Link's Awakening one that's coming out. And Amazon and Best Buy were doing it. And I think the last few that I've even gotten have been either Best Buy order online, but for in-store pickup, or Amazon if I could get an Amazon
Once
one.
they come out with those Doom.
Oh yeah, there you go.
You sign
Doom
me
guy.
up.
There you go.
Yeah,
we'll see that. They had more stuff in the sizzle reel like NBA 2K20. Just
like didn't show those slot machines.
Still supporting that series on there. The Outer Worlds.
Yeah,
knowing about that. Showed a little bit of that off. Just Dance 2020. That series
keeps going.
I wonder if that's going to be in the running for longest running series. Just Dance.
Yeah.
Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. They say remastered in this title. I might be wrong, but I thought when this originally announced they
didn't use remastered.
Remastered, version, the remastered version was only coming to PC and PS4 and newer systems. And Switch was getting Ni no Kuni finally, but it was just gonna be like a little port of the PS3 version, no enhancements, visual enhancements. But I'm still expecting that. But I mean, if you missed out on it the first time, it is a really good game, exceptional game. You should try out.
Love it.
We now know what the heck Capcom was doing Devil May Cry instead of releasing the collection. Devil May Cry 2 also
just two.
Just two.
Get two.
I can't wait to see the sales numbers on that one. I bet watch the Switch version. No, that's not gonna happen. It's the original version actually. I think sold pretty decently because of the name. September 19th. So you can expect Devil May Cry 3 to come at some point individually, maybe 4. Grid Autosport. Some more of that. Vampire also coming to Switch.
Swimming in sevens.
October, at least we're getting out of September here. October 29th for that one, so good date for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then Call of Cthulhu, October 8th, survival horror RPG. I forget this game.
Yeah. Just came out recently.
Okay. It is a newer game.
Kind of reminded me of, it's like first person.
Okay. Yeah, I saw it from the footage. Yeah.
Like, the hell, man?
Huh?
I just had it on my brain. The game I'm playing right now.
Oh, you want Sinking City?
Yes.
Okay.
Similar, like Sinking City's third person kind of free. This is more like first person.
Gotcha.
Similar vibes, obviously Cthulhu stuff.
And
because Sinking City's coming to Switch too. I'm surprised it didn't show up.
Yeah, like you were. I remember you saying that you thought it'd be back to back, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And I can't forget our final game, Farming Simulator 20.
Our final game.
We're streaming that.
Yeah, we're getting. Hugh and I have been talking about this. Yep. We're getting really.
We're gonna get into it.
we're
Play that for like a good
we're
month.
getting won over by that.
We've gone on way too long.
Yeah.
I don't even know what our time is. Gotta get a stopwatch.
It's a huge direct.
Yeah, 90.
massive.
We're at 90-minute mark right here.
Perfect.
Okay.
So that's the end. That is the end. We were
90 minutes for a 40-minute direct. That
Yeah,
seems
what
right.
else-
2 minutes a game there.
Well, there was also the 20-minute Sakurai Smash Brothers.
Yeah, we
That's right.
covered this stuff in that already. But
Yeah.
it was a surprisingly good direct.
Yeah.
I was
I
very
think that's the
pleased with
thing.
that.
We were saying this after we finished. I was going into this really not expecting anything. It's like, okay, there's a direct. Okay, I'll come down. Like, I had no excitement coming into this, and so I was very surprised that they actually had announcements and they weren't just gonna tell us more about games that we already knew about.
I feel like if anything happens in September, though, it's big. Like, September is such a prime month to release games and to release news about games. Like, something about September, man, because it's like right at the end of the year. So you're hyping up all these like end of the year, game of the year games, but then you're also teasing next year. It's just good times, dude.
2 in a row now. Big September directs.
Got TGS coming up right around the corner.
Oh, other announcements you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff. But yeah, one of the stronger directs, I think. One of the strongest I've seen in terms of lineup and that length. At this rate, I'm expecting like E3 to turn to like 60 minutes at some point. If they got all this stuff, unless they only are gonna focus on heavy hitters at E3,
Right.
And that's why they keep it
Yeah.
at a shorter length. Yeah, that's probably the reason why.
Because, realistically, if they're going to showcase more, like past E3s before the public was in there, like the town game, Little Town
Yeah.
Hero, like
Little
that,
Town Hero, yeah.
you should have played that at E3.
Yeah, I'm surprised that's gonna be weird. It's gonna come out without anyone ever played it. It feels like it's so
Maybe
weird.
they'll do a demo before it comes
Yeah,
out.
that game does need a demo. I think it does need
Yeah.
a demo. But yeah, good stuff. I don't do ratings and stuff like that, but thumbs up from me.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up from me. And yeah, that is gonna do it. Unfortunately, there were no patron questions because very short lead time for this, and I knew this was gonna be when I saw it was gonna be 40 minutes long. I was like, "There's no way we're gonna be able to fit in questions without this being too long of an episode, already running too long." We'll get back to those questions with the next episode. If you'd like to submit questions for consideration for episode of Friend Code, you need to be part of the $5 and up tier. And also, if you're part of that tier, it's the early access tier. You get episodes of Friend Code as well as other shows a few days early before they go public on YouTube. And changes are still in the works. New logo, all that stuff still in the works. I'll give you an update when I have an update, and hopefully get that stuff soon. And thank you both for spending a long impromptu Wednesday here. Thankfully, the internet cooperated with us at the end. Worked that out. Thank you. Thank you for your patience on that. And until next time, everybody, may the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.